Kristen, and I have lost 129 pounds using a ketogenic lifestyle or diet, however you want to say it. Today I'm going to talk about beginning keto, the things I wish that I had known, or some of the tips and tricks that worked for me when I started keto. It was a huge learning curve for me. I have learned a ton in the past 17 months. I want to help people who are just getting started learn things that I wish I had known and learn things that really helped me along the way. Before I start that, could you please click like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified when I upload. I like to do a lot of keto grocery hauls, and I do what I eat in a day. You can click in the description or in the cards for those things. I also have a Facebook group challenge right now. I'm doing you post 25 times during the month of January. 3 goals that you have for the month. You don't even have to be keto. And I'm gonna draw 2 names and give off some keto snacks that I acquired over the year. So let's get into this video. When I began keto, I didn't understand the whole carb thing. I thought I thought the whole premise of the diet was to not eat any carbs anymore. I really had no idea. I tried to get close to as 0 carbs as possible when I started. I really had no clue. Figure out carbs, and one of the things you have to do is keep them 20 total or net carbs. I have found that for me, I have to be a total carber in order to lose weight. Now, I do net carbs sometimes when I decide that I'm not going to lose weight for the time being. I want to slow down, or if there's a holiday, I'll increase my carbs. But for the most part, in order to lose weight, I have to be a total carber. You may not be that way, but that's how I am. That's what I do. I track total carbs when I am in weight loss mode. And this is trial and error. You might start out and lose fine with net carb. Eventually you hit a stall. You can go to total carbs and you might start losing them. Just everybody has a different threshold for carbs, and you need to figure out what that is for you. So if you start this diet and you have, say, 5 pounds and you're doing net carbs and it's not working, it may be because you're not in ketosis. You need to lower your carbs in order to get into ketosis. That is my first bit of beginner information. I did not know any of that, and it probably would have helped me a little bit if I had known I could eat a little bit more carbohydrate than I was putting into my body. The next thing I would suggest that you do is track your carbs in an app such as Carb Manager or MyFitnessPal. I do MyFitnessPal because I was using that when I did WW for years, and I just got really used to it. And I don't track net carbs, so it was frustrating for me to see the net carb total in the beginning in the Carb Manager. So for me, I really like MyFitnessPal and I stuck to it. But I feel like the majority of people like to use Carb Manager. You can download that in the App Store, Android and for Apple phones, and put it right on your phone. You can put it on your computer. And it's just a really great way to figure out what your total and net carbs are and to see what kind of nutrition you're getting. You need to count your fat. You need to count your protein. You need to count your carbs, and you can just see where your macros are at. When I started, I made sure I had a ton of fat because it made me feel satiated. Now I keep my protein higher than my fat. It's a really important part of the keto diet to track your macros, especially when you're starting. You can use the Carb Manager and the MyFitnessPal for is to track calories. And this is controversial. I see people talking about it all the time, that you do not need to track calories on keto. This is not true. Maybe in the beginning you don't, because you don't even realize you're cutting down your food intake, but if you're like me and you're super morbidly obese, if you eat until you're satiated, you're going over your calories. And that's just how I am. I'll be like, oh, I'm not overly full. I overanalyze how full I am. I overthink it. So I have to track my calories. And right now I know that I feel satiated when I'm cutting at 1,400 calories. If I eat 1,200, I'm ravenous. If I eat 1,400, I'm satiated, but I also still feel satiated up to 2,500 calories. So if I ate 2,500 calories every day, I would not lose weight. So I do not believe in not tracking calories at all. I feel like that information is coming from people who have never had to lose weight and have never had to figure out, they haven't had to lose a massive amount of weight. That's just what I feel like. I feel like that information, I haven't seen anybody who's lost a total of, I'm trying to lose 173 pounds total. I've lost 129 pounds. I haven't seen anyone that heavy that has said, yeah, I just counted my carbs and it just magically happened. You need to figure out what works for you. That's what I do, and it works for me. Maybe you'll be able to lose a bunch of weight and never track a calorie. Calories are different for everybody, but you have to track them. Next thing I want to tell you that I wish I had known when I started keto was that you don't need to buy anything. Zip, zilch, nada, nothing. You don't need to buy a thing in order to do the keto diet. Everything is free. All the food is not free. Obviously, the food is not free unless you fast, which I do not recommend you do. And I'll tell you why in a minute. It's not free, but you don't have to buy any keto products. You don't have to buy a Keto Mojo. You don't have to buy keto urine strips. You don't have to buy those things in order to be keto. The only requirement in order to be keto is to keep your carbs under 20. That's it. Now, some of those products are helpful in your journey, and I have bought a ton of those during my journey to try and help me on the way. But if I wanted to just eat meat, cheese, eggs, dairy, and fish and poultry, I would have been fine. So you don't need to buy anything, not one product. And the other thing that I did in the beginning is I bought those keto urine strips just because I was curious to see if I was doing keto right and if I was in ketosis. And that's really how I figured out that I needed to have less than 20 total carbs to be in ketosis. I never would have figured that out if I didn't get those strips. And it also helped. So it helped me realize that I needed to keep my carbs a lot lower than other people. So, and then the Keto Mojo actually helped me figure out that maltitol, maltodextrin, and all those other things kicked me. So they are useful, but they're not required. Now I am not using urine strips and I'm not using a Keto Mojo. I can't afford the strips. I'm not employed because my daughter is not going to school full time. So I don't buy the strips and I don't use them. I look at other YouTubers for information about keto products, but I don't use them. So anyway, you don't need to buy anything. You're going to see a ton of advertisements right now for keto products, keto meal plans, but you don't need anything. You can get on YouTube. Jess over at Keto Rewind, she has a free meal plan now that you can follow. So go follow her, go follow Facebook groups, join my group for motivation. You don't need to pay a thing. That's my speech about that. The next thing is get electrolytes. If you have never done keto, especially, one of the things that you flush out of your system is sodium, and you're not getting it from all those packaged products. You need electrolytes. I got electrolytes from Dr. Berg, and I got it from Powerade. I get it from pink Himalayan salt. I put a lot of that on my food. You need to make sure you have electrolytes or you're going to get the keto flu, and you do not want the keto flu. It gave me a headache. It gave me muscle spasms. I put up with it because I wanted to lose weight badly. But if I had known that I should take electrolytes, I would have avoided that. So take some electrolytes. You will be very thankful that you did if you're just starting keto, and you're not gonna do well if you're feeling miserable on keto. And it doesn't last. I don't have the keto flu anymore. It's kind of interesting to hear people talk about it because it's just the way I live now. So, and I actually use Mio water enhancers right now for my electrolytes, the sport kind. I would not recommend that you fast. It might be controversial again. I've lost 129 pounds and I have barely fasted Barely meaning, I do a fast at night, 12, 14, 16 hours, a natural fast. You see people on keto channels fasting. It's not part of keto. That will help you get into ketosis faster, but fasting is not keto. Keto is a metabolic state, and if you keep your carbs under 20 total carbs, you will lose weight. And if you cut your calories. I don't mind fasting, and I've actually done it and it made me feel great, but I can't do it right now. I am home all the time, not part of my lifestyle now. And I also I don't want to. I don't know. I don't want to not eat. I enjoy eating. So, don't fast, especially when you're first starting. Like, just get used to getting your calories lower and your carbs lower. Just don't do it. Don't feel like you have to fast. If you're not fat adapted, you're not going to be successful fasting because you're going to be starving. And that's the key to fasting. It took me forever to finally fast for 36 hours. I've done it once in the past 17 months. I may do it again someday, but right now is not the time because I am home all the time right now. Literally, I go walking and that's all I do for leaving the house. Do not recommend fasting, especially in the beginning. And I really don't recommend that as a lifestyle. I don't know. I haven't seen, and you don't need to leave me studies or anything. I have read them. I have not seen a lot of conclusive evidence of its benefits for a long-term lifestyle. I've seen the short-term benefits, but I haven't seen the benefits for long-term lifestyle. So don't fast. Just wait and see how that evolves. And just remember, it's not part of keto. You see a lot of it in keto, a lot of people doing it, but it's too much in the beginning. Just don't do it. Don't do too much at once. I see people wanting to mess with their macros and try exercising and this and that and the other thing. Just don't. Just concentrate on the 20 carbs. Concentrate on that. In the beginning, it's the only thing you need to do is concentrate on the carbs and make sure you get electrolytes. If you do more than that, you're going to overcomplicate things and you're going to get overwhelmed. So please do not try to do more than one thing at a time. The other thing people try to do is they try to go all clean and healthy, and that's not realistic for me, and it may not be for you. And I know that there are lots of clean eating plans out there and they're fantastic and good for them. But number one, I can't afford the extra price on the products right now. Okay. Like I said, I'm not working because of COVID. So Dr. Berry says that it's better to eat a hot dog than it is to eat a donut. So, well, he doesn't say that exactly, but that's what I think of. I don't eat hot dogs because they make me feel sick, but I would rather eat a hot dog than eat a donut that's 50 cents cheaper. And that's what I want to say to you is don't try to do it all at once. If you feel like you can't afford clean eating, then don't do it. And if you feel like you still need those crutches to rely on in order to lose weight, do it. I needed Diet Coke, and I still do. I'm still trying to give up my Diet Coke for the longest time. So please don't try to do too much at once. All right, so the next thing is don't exercise. Another thing you're going to see is it's been January 1st and people are going to go balls to the wall with exercise, and don't do it. Especially if you're massively obese or overweight, you have not been moving for a long time. Just move more. I started walking a lot more in the last 2 months, and I've been doing keto for 17 months. You don't need exercise to lose weight, and it just adds another layer of the things that you're changing and becomes too much. So please do not try to go out and join a gym and get in weightlifting and cardio because you're going to burn out because it's going to be too much. So please don't go out and exercise. Move more. Do the laundry. Walk around your house. Just move a little bit more than you used to, but don't try to add that all on. Just add the 20 carbs up and go with that when you're beginning keto, because it's going to be way too much if you're exercising. Next thing I recommend that you do is look for inspirational things to read about to keep you motivated. Look for YouTubers, look for books. I like to watch Keto Rewind, Keto and the Chaos. I watch Keto Diamond. Just look at those people that have lost a ton of weight on keto and see what they did and see what works for you in their journeys. I also read books. I'm reading End Your Carb Confusion. That has been super helpful for me right now. And I also am on some forums on Facebook. I'm on Keto for Beginners. I have my own, like I've mentioned, Kristen Johns. Just join forums and watch inspirational things to help keep you motivated. And then my last tip that I will give you for beginning keto is to take pictures. This is something that I don't have a ton of because I was so embarrassed with my before, and I didn't want anyone to see what I looked like. I thought if I hid from pictures, my problem didn't exist. But I really think you should take pictures so that you can see how far you've come. One thing I can do now is go back and look at videos because I started YouTube in February of last year, so I can see how big my face was then and how thin it's gotten now, but I don't have a ton of photos. So I really recommend that you do that. So anyway, those are my beginning keto tips. If you have any other questions, please drop a comment below. You can also join my Facebook group, Kristen Johns. I'm on Instagram, Keto Kid Kristen. I really like to help people. The best carb counter I would recommend is actually the Countess of Low Carb. She has a website. She also has a YouTube channel. So anyway, thanks so much for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you get notified when I upload. Have a great day.